Hello, Tsunami North Atlanta families. My name is Jeff McClellan. I am one of the directors at Tsunami Volleyball, and this is the information session for our North Atlanta location, which typically has been North, or we've called it Brookhaven. So this is our North Atlanta location. So one of the things we like to point out, just so you guys know who we are, is what our athletes have done over the past 4 or 5 years, just to show we've got athletes that compete at every single level from Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, JUCO, the whole bit, HBCU. So this is our class of 2022, understanding that because of COVID, athletes, seniors were given an additional year of eligibility. So we had 8 athletes off of one team commit to play in college during a time when there were not very many offers going around. So pretty good run. I'm just going to let the next couple of screens scroll through. You can pause it and look at it, but this will show you that we've got everything from the top colleges of Division I to every level of play, and so you'll see some of the top programs in the country. Our athletes have gone to play Penn State, North Carolina, Baylor, Georgia Tech, Notre Dame. You'll see them as the slides scroll through. So let me know if you have any questions about that. So I'll just be brief on this. I know most of you guys are watching this because of the 10s through 14s tryouts coming up in a couple of weeks. But I want to touch on this. This is one of the things that we do better than anybody else. We put more effort into our recruiting program than anybody, and our results over the past few screens will be indicative of that. But we have an entire recruiting program with an recruiting director. We send out weekly emails to college coaches. There's a whole list of things that we do for our athletes. So if you're looking at playing in college, this is absolutely one of the best programs in the country as far as helping you get recruited. So our North Atlanta location operates out of the Brookhaven area. We use 3 locations. The Globe Academy has signed on with us again this year. They finished their renovation of their gym, so it's now a 2-court facility for us. We're excited about getting back in there. They've redone the floors, put in HVAC. So we are excited about that location. Wyuka Road, it used to be Wyuka Road Baptist Church. It's now Wyuka Road Church. Will also be our location for us, and Brookhaven Presbyterian. And we're also still looking for a couple of other locations, but we'll definitely be using those 3. So for those of you who are new to club, this is one of the hardest things to figure out sometimes, and that is what age group you can compete. So it works like this. Whatever age group you are on July 1st of next year is the age group that you can compete. My daughter is 10 years old. On July 1st of next year, she will still be 10 years old. She can compete in the 10 and under age group, and that's as young as she can compete. For athletes that are in that July to September window, it is a conversation we probably need to have is whether you want to play down for your age group or play up for your graduating class, because some of those kids could play a younger age group but will graduate a little bit earlier. So if you're looking to compete collegiately, we probably need to have a conversation about where you should compete, whether you're graduating class or your age group. Also, this is new from a couple of years ago. If you are an 18-year-old junior, you do not have to play 18s. You can play 17s twice rather than 18s twice. It is a waiver that allows you to play in the better recruiting age group for you, which would be 17. So that is an option as well. If you're an 18-year-old junior, let's have a conversation about maybe you play 17s. Okay, North Atlanta families, this is where things get a little bit different for us. This is new. So now we have 4 levels of competition this year: Elite, National, Premier, and ATL. All right, let's start at the bottom. ATL is exactly what it sounds like. It is Atlanta only, ATL Atlanta. So you're going to play local tournaments, and we'll go over those in detail. Premier is what would be considered a regional team. Then national level is what we have done at North Atlanta over the past few years at the 15s through 18s age group. You only play Big South and Sunshine as your qualifiers. In the 15s through 18s division for North Atlanta, we are offering the elite level this year, which would now be 3 qualifiers and guaranteeing that we go to AAU or USAV Nationals. So the elite level is the top level of athlete within our club. These are the kids that are gung-ho, can't get them out of the gym. They want more. And at 15s through 18s, it is your athletes are going to go play at nationals. You're committing through July. When you sign up on the registration checklist, you can pick what level you want to play: elite, national, premier, or ATL. So at 14 and under, this does not change what we have done at North. It is elite is normal. The only difference is that now for 13s and 14s, one team or elite teams, you're now going to go to USAV Nationals. So if you play at the elite level, 13s through 18s, you're committing to play through July. If you play at the national level, 15s through 18s, you're committing to play through July. There is a spreadsheet that is on our website that gives exactly what everything is, and it looks like this. It looks like this, and it's on our website, and it says that at our whatever team, you're going to play this many qualifiers and this many practices a week and everything. So you'll find this on the website. It's not hidden. You'll be able to find it. Look at that on the website to determine exactly what everything looks like. So there is a little bit higher offering this season at North Atlanta than we have had in the past. We're happy for you to continue doing the national level, but there is a little bit more that's available. So now we have a national level at North, which for the older kids, the 15s through 18s, this is what you've been doing. There are a couple of things that are different to it, but for the most part, this is kind of where we have been. And again, look at this thing over here and see if it tells you whether you're going to go to nationals or not, whether it's an optional thing or whether it's included in your tuition. So we'll go over that in just a second. But anyway, so at the elite level and the national level, playing time is not guaranteed. And that's the last sentence on both of these things. And what we mean by that is that your practice time is guaranteed, but you are not guaranteed to get playing time in matches. We want to, we will try to, we hope to, we don't want to bench anybody, but at the same time, we are playing to win at the elite and national level. So you need to understand when you sign up that that's what you're signing up for. For those of you who have competed at the premier level, this is it's carryover. It's the exact same thing that we have been doing. It is a regional program. You'll play most of your tournaments here in Atlanta, but you'll have a couple of travel tournaments where you'll go and play. We'll try and play. Our premier teams play a power level typically. There will be some club options as well, but typically we play a power level. Playing time at the premier level is fair, but not equal. That means that everybody's going to play. Nobody's going to sit on the bench all weekend. Everybody's going to play. In pool play, we play pretty much everybody, but when we get to bracket play, and now we're playing to win. So the athletes who are excelling are going to play more, but everybody's going to play. Our ATL level is what we used to call select. That is our local only. You're not traveling, not playing Big South, not any of those types of things. It is these are for the athletes that are often just want to play to stay in shape for their school teams. They're not looking for more. They practice twice a week. We just want to play and have a great time. We're playing for funsies, but we still want to get good coaching and good training and still play good levels of tournaments. But the commitment level is a little bit less. At the ATL level, everyone is going to play as equal as we can possibly make it. We have a new select level, which is an in-house league. We will not be offering that at the North Atlanta location because we don't have enough gym space, nor do we have enough athletes at this point. But hopefully next year we'll be able to do that. We're also not offering it at South, and hopefully in the next year we'll be able to do that as well. All right, so tryout registration is open on the website. When you open it up, there's a picture right there that says tryout registration. Click on it, then click on the North Atlanta location, and it'll walk you through the steps. All the times are there. Everything is ready to go. Now, there are a couple of questions that we have that always come out, and Number one is, do I need to register in advance? You do not have to. You can walk in, but it will absolutely expedite your day by registering in advance. It also helps us make sure that we have enough coaches on staff and make sure that we have enough T-shirts and all that sort of thing. So as much as we can do. Now here's something for North Atlanta for you newbies. We ask you guys to come at South, which is our Forest Park location. We have a nice big facility. And so we ask our North Atlanta families to come to our South location about 3 times a year. One of them is tryouts. And then there's a picture day somewhere in early January, and then we'll usually have you guys come down and scrimmage or play at least once during the season. So, but anyway, so this is one of the times we do ask you to come to our Forest Park location. So make sure you recognize that when you do your registration. One of the other things that we always get asked, and so I put it on the very first thing, is 2 clubs are having their tryouts at the same time. Where do I go? Go to the one that is your first choice. If it's us, come to us, figure out what happens. And I'll tell you about register tryouts in just a second. So then if you get what you want, you commit, you stay, you're done, go home, enjoy your Saturday afternoon, don't worry about it. If you don't get what you want, then you pick up the phone and you immediately call your second choice. I will tell you that most of the clubs in the area are going to offer their 1 team and 2 team spots on day 1. And so you need to go to your first choice first. All right, here are a couple of pertinent questions. First of all, there is a video for 10 and under that if you're looking at the 10 and under slots, you should go watch that video because it's going to tell you what all of that other stuff that we've just talked about does and does not pertain to you. So I should have said that at the beginning. There is also an 11 and 12U video that's the same thing that you should go watch it because some of the information is a little bit different. 13s through 18s. So here we go. What level should I try out to compete in? We want you to try out for the highest level that you would possibly consider playing. If you would like to play on an elite team, but you don't think you're going to make it, go ahead and try out for the elite team. That's not a problem. The only thing negative that's going to happen is we're going to say, I'm sorry, we don't have a spot for you. So try out for the highest level that you would consider playing. If you have 0 interest in playing for the elite level, don't come to the elite tryout because heaven forbid we offer you a spot and then you turn it down because, well, I don't really want that. Now you've created drama for yourself and you've created drama for us. So come to the highest level you would want to play, even if you don't think you're going to make it, because we will, if you don't make the elite team, we'll consider you for the national team. If you don't make the national team, we'll invite you to the premier tryouts. If you don't make the premier, we'll invite you to the ATL. So one registration covers all the tryouts. So it's not like it's going to cost you more money to do it. It will cost you additional time because you'll have to come to the premier tryouts or you'll have to come to the ATL tryouts because it's not guaranteed that you get a spot just because you try out for a lead. That doesn't guarantee you a spot on any of those other levels. You still have to try out and make them. But you should try out for the highest level you would consider playing. We answered that other question. When will I know if I made a team? Here's the way we do tryouts. So you come to tryouts. On that day, we will give you one of 3 envelopes. An envelope that says, I'm sorry, we don't have a place for you. We will give you an envelope that says, hey, we don't have a place for you at this level, but come back because I think we have a place for you at this other level. Or we'll give you an envelope that says congratulations. And in that congratulations envelope will be a list of instructions of what to do from that point on. So you'll know before you leave the gym that day where you stand with us. And so then we can have a conversation about it. Do I need to attend for our elite and national tryouts? They are 2 days. Do I need to attend both days? Yes. Day 1 is a lot of individual work, and we will offer a whole bunch of our spots on day 1, if not all of our spots. Day 2 then becomes team play, and it becomes the day where we fill in 1 or 2 of those spots. And so even if you got offered on day 1, you need to come to day 2. If you didn't get offered on day 1, we'll tell you either to come back to day 2 or that we would like to see you back at one of our other tryouts, premiere or whatever. So anyway, I hope that kind of answers your questions there. Feel free to email us if you have additional questions about that. One of the biggest things that I would like to encourage you to do is get in the gym prior to tryouts. Do not wait until tryouts to get in the gym. And the reason I say that is because even though we do a really good job of picking teams, we miss kids sometimes when we're trying to evaluate 100 kids in a 3-hour window. And so I don't want that to happen to your kid. The more your athlete is in the gym, the more we get to place them in the correct location. I don't want to place them too high and I don't want to place them too low. So I want to make sure that we place them on the correct team. And the way we can do that is by seeing them more and more and more. And one of the things you can do is when you go and you run through clinics, you have the opportunity to then go talk to the coaches and go, hey, what did you see? What can I do? And a lot of our current clinics, we're giving evaluations. Hey, we love this about you. We think you can work on this. This is kind of the level that we see you play. So anyway, so get in the gym with us. The Train for Tryouts, the tryout clinics, the prep camps, all those things are great opportunities to get in the gym, as well as the training academies. Please, please, please get in the gym before tryouts. So for those of you who are playing on ATL teams or some of our younger, like 10s, and 11s that aren't traveling, sorry, you can kind of ignore this. But for those of you who are going to travel, we allow you to stay with your athlete. So we do not book housing for you guys. We don't book hotels. We don't book airlines for you. We're happy to help you do that, but that's not the role that we're going to take on. But what we will do is we'll go book blocks of rooms for the tournament, and then you can call and reserve one of those blocks of rooms. But we want to give you guys the opportunity. We have some families that prefer to stay in their campers, or they prefer to stay at the Motel 6, or they prefer to stay at the Ritz. And so we're going to book a good middle of the road hotel, and then you guys can veer off of that as much as you want to, except for some stay to play events, which we'll tell you which ones those are, and those are the ones that the tournament hosts dictate where you have to stay. But you'll know what that is when we get to that point. But we do allow the athletes to stay with their families in hotel rooms. It's just as a father of an athlete, I want my kid with me. So we're going to do that for all of our families. All right, so we're about to go into the fees, and here are a couple of things, and all clubs do this differently. So I invite you to compare pricing versus what you get, and I think you'll find that Tsunami is one of the cheapest, most value-driven clubs that is around. Now, our number may be high, but what you get for it is higher. So first things first, the number of the season fees, everything is included in that. That is everything except your travel and housing and food. It does cover your uniforms. It covers your coaching. There's no additional fees on top of this number. So you can budget from whatever October to May. This is what you're going to have to pay. And there are payment plans available that will help you do that. And we'll talk about all of that. So at 13 Elite through 18 Elite, you will see that the number is a little bit higher. Those teams are committing to play through July. So you're going to start in October, November. You're going to compete through SRVA regionals. It's the end of April. And then you're going to start training again from April until June or July. And you're either going to go to USA Volleyball if you earn a bid, or you're going to go to AAU Nationals in Orlando if you don't earn a USA bid. So 13 Elite through 18 Elite, tuition includes nationals. 15s through 18s national level is the same. It includes nationals. At 15s through 18s, if you're playing on an elite or national team, our assumption is that you are hoping to play collegiately and that you're willing to invest the time. And so we want to give you the best opportunity. So you'll see our tournament schedules reflect getting you in front of college coaches. And AAU Nationals and USAV Nationals are two of probably the top 4 or 5 places you can go related to recruiting. All right, so here are our season fees for the year based on the age groups and the levels. So if you look at the bottom grouping, the ATL level, so you have 11, 12, 13, 14 ATL. Those are our local teams. And there's a little bit of a difference in the tournament schedules, and that's the reason for the variation in the prices. But that includes everything that you would pay to Tsunami for your uniform, for coaching, for tournament registration, USAV registration, all the registrations out there. That's everything that you would pay to Tsunami. And so because we're only showing 11, 12, 13, and 14, that means that we're only running local teams at those 4 ages. Now, I will tell you that at 14 and under, it is our goal not to cut anyone. At 12 and under, we do not cut anyone. We will find a place for every single person. And then at 13s and 14s, we try diligently to make a team. The only reason we don't make a team is if we just absolutely have a complete mixed bag of kids that are all the same position and none of the other positions. So the only way we don't make a team for every kid is if we just can't. So you can know going into tryouts at 12 and under, you're going to have a spot with us if you'd like to play with us. And then at 14 and 13 elite, we will give you every opportunity we possibly can. So the premier, you can see your pricing there, national and elite. So you'll notice 10 elite is super inexpensive. You play 4 tournaments, they're all in town. At 11 elite, we add Big South and we add a couple of higher level tournaments and we add more tournaments. Then you go to 12 elite, and so 12 elite will now travel twice. They play Big South here in town, and then they go to Franklin, Tennessee, and then they'll go play Sunshine Qualifier in Orlando. So the schedule starts to get a little bit higher. And then at 13 elite and 14 elite, you're going to do 2 qualifiers. At 15, 16, 17, 18 elite, you're going to do 3 qualifiers. And then 13 through 18 elite, you're going to go play it. You're going to go to USAV National. Again, refer to this sheet on our website that has all of the information as far as what you get at each location so that you'll understand it. That'll tell you how many practice days, how many national qualifiers, whether you're playing in regionals, whether the recruiting clinic is included, whether workouts are included. It just tells you everything that is part of the package that we're offering for each of those locations. So for right now, just kind of as an insider secret, on our website, if you go look at teams, like if you go to open it up and go to teams, and it'll drop down. I think South and Cobb are currently live. If you go to like 14 elite and click on it, it will show you the proposed tournament schedule for right now. So there's not a handout. You're actually going to the website. But if you go to the website and click on whatever level of teams you're looking at playing, it will show you what the proposed tournament schedule is. Now, there are a couple of switches that are going to come just because some dates have changed on some tournaments and things, but 90% of what's on the website is correct, and within the next probably 36 hours, everything on the website will be corrected. But you can see the tournament schedule from there. Now, I always get questions about practice schedules. Practice schedules is the hardest thing to do because we don't know how many teams we're going to make. We plan on this many, and then we don't make this one, and we do make an extra one there, and it just kind of throws everything a little bit topsy-turvy. But we're going to give you on the website within the next probably 48 hours a really good idea of what our practice schedule is going to look like. Probably won't have gym locations listed yet, but we will have the days of the week at least to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. For those of you guys that are super pre-planners, here's a lot of information things that you're going to ask. When's the last practice before Thanksgiving? When's the first practice after Thanksgiving? Same thing for Christmas. When do we come back after New Year's? All those types of things. This is on that sheet of paper, including what some of the dates of some of the bigger tournaments happen to be, just so you can kind of get a little bit of a running start on planning things. Now, in the conversation about dates, if you are 13s through 18s elite or 15s through 18s nationals, please do not schedule your vacation without confirming the dates of those tournaments. It's super important because you're paying for it. Go play in it. So just anything after July 4th is fair game. You've got plenty of room to jump in. Anything before that is going to interfere with nationals. So if you're going to compete at that level, commit to that level, and let's make sure we do it. Let's make sure we save those. Make sure you can make practices and make the tournaments. All right, so we are assigning coaches at this point. There are our 12 through 17s. We're finishing out the coaching assignments, and we'll start posting them on the website under teams as we put in the tournament schedules for our North Atlanta location. We'll add in the coaches as well. But here are the elite teams. We'll have the rest of these put out before tryouts on the 15th. All right, so if you're not following us on social media, please do so. Here are, and the reason I say that is because obviously that's where we brag about your kids, but that's also where we post all of our information. We remind you about clinics that are coming up and all that sort of thing. And then we have on our website, we have a newsletter Even better than that, send Heather an email, info@tsunamivolleyball.com, and just say, hey, I'd like to be added to the newsletter for the North Atlanta location, and we'll take care of it. But we post all kinds of stuff about your kids and clinics and everything on our social media, so it's super important that you follow us if you want to stay up to date with what's going on in the club. If you've been with us for a while, you know most of this information, but here it is just in general. Heather is our office admin person who oversees 4 of our locations, South, North Atlanta, Rome, and Central Georgia. And so she's your point of contact for most things, and that info@Tsunami Volleyball email address goes to Heather, it goes to myself, and it goes to Dunn Hahn, who is our coaching director. And so Dustin is our North Atlanta director, and he can answer questions specifically for our North location. He understands, he's the one assigning coaches and working on gym time and that sort of thing. So, and then my contact information, and then Heather's office phone number. So if you need us, that is a great way to reach us. So anyway, if you have any questions at this point, email one of us, call one of us. I know there's no way we covered everything on this information session, but we need to. But we want to make sure that you guys are well informed coming into the season. So I look forward to seeing you in the gym. If I haven't seen you, I look forward to it.